Welcome to the Tailgate Tailgate Show. The tailgate show for the tailgaters. Done by the not-so-ready for prime-time pickers. Hosted by the Lunch Eaters Man of the Year and legendary broadcaster Bill Bubba Bussey. You only thought you knew college football. Call Mama Moon and saddle up for a football experience. Now, here's Bubba.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the Tailgate Tailgate Show. This is your tailgate show for the tailgaters. I'm your semi-retired, mostly washed-up host, formerly of the Rick and Bubba Show, and now your host of two podcasts, Bubba on the Lake, and this one that you're listening to, the Tailgate Tailgate Show. Of course, our website is the tailgatetailgateshow.com. If you notice, we say tailgate show a lot on this program. You also can drop me some email at bubba@tgtgshow.com. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications. We don't want you to miss a minute of this program. Helping me on this program each week is my son, Hunter Bussey. Hunter, how are you doing?
I'm great. I'm still recovering from a trip to Montgomery to watch Jack State and Troy, and hurting a little bit, but I'm ready to talk some playoff football. It's that time of year where we get to finally break down the games who proves themselves that they are the men from the boys. So
we'll talk about that a little bit later in the show, too. Also joining us, everybody's favorite, Baltimore, formerly Baltimore, now Indianapolis Colts fan, Nathan Hall. Nathan, how are you?
I'm making it. I'm a little bit under the weather. I don't know how much of that I should attribute to the actual weather and how much of it I should attribute to the fact that the Indianapolis Colts keep me living in a continual hell, and I will never escape from this pain and misery. It's something that I'm cursed with, and we're going into week 2 with a 44-year-old quarterback, and I have no hope.
Well, Phillip Rivers is a competitor, and he looked like he may have been out of shape just a little bit, but at least you got somebody to go to. You could be like us Minnesota Viking fans and just suck all the way around. So
it
be happy. Yeah, be happy of what you're doing. And a little old business here before we welcome in our guest picker this week. Last week, all three of us went 2-0. It was a very light schedule. That put me at 87-31 for the year, Hunter at 80-38, and Nathan at 79-39. So we're all tracking pretty close together. Our guest picker this week is someone that we've known for a long time. He has been a guest on our old radio show many, many years. Lance Ingram, and he also has his friend Dr. Lou with him. Lance, Dr. Lou, welcome to the broadcast.
What's up, Bubba? What's up, Hunter? What's up, Nathan? I'm glad to join y'all tonight. And guys, it's so good to see you. I get tired of listening to Lance talk. It's Coach Lou Holtz, formerly of the University of Notre Dame. I see Nathan down there. He's a big Indianapolis Colts fan. I just wanted to share a few thoughts, if you don't mind, Bubba, on Phillip Rivers. His throwing motion was so slow it needed its own commercial break and halftime show before the ball was released.
Well, we really focus on college here, but I think given the extreme circumstances of him coming back, we've got to at least mention it and talk about it. Phillip Rivers has been a guest on our show before. Great guy. Know his family from North Alabama. And, they were protecting him a little bit. They threw a lot of short passes. And, there's no way he's in playing shape. And then how old is he now, Nathan?
Well, and listen, I have no beef with Phillip Rivers. I think he's a phenomenal quarterback. He needs to be in the Hall of Fame. He's a professional. But the Coach Steichen came out this week and said Anthony Richardson can't start because we would have to get him into playing shape. That was his quote. This is a 22, 23-year-old who was playing football a year ago, and he can't start because he's not in playing shape. But we're going to call Phillip Rivers up from Fairhope. He hasn't thrown an NFL ball in 5 years, and he's 44 years old. You can't make this stuff only.
I can't say this, Nathan. This true story. Phillip Rivers' pregame routine included stretching, film study, and asking the ref what year it was. I kid getting around, but by the fourth quarter Sunday, the Colts weren't running a 2-minute drill. They were running a bedtime routine.
Yeah,
because Philip Rivers, clearly he had to be at church in the morning by probably 9 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
I couldn't figure out. They kept talking about him coming back, reset the clock. I didn't know if they were talking about his health care or Social Security. I didn't know.
Reset everything.
All of it.
Oh, goodness gracious. Bubba, Bussey, you still got it.
It's going to be hard to get through this one this week. I can already tell you. All right, real quick, we got to recap. Hunter and I both are like walking zombies because we were in Montgomery. We didn't get into bed till like 1 o'clock last night. We were down for the big Jack State Troy game in the Salute to Veterans Bowl. And the Crampton Bowl never looked better. We had a great turnout, a great crowd. It was the first time in 21 years that these two rivals got on the field and squared off. It was the biggest game of the year for both teams for many, many years. And for some reason, they just couldn't get it back together, and it took a bowl game and the help from ESPN to get them on the field. But what a great game. It went down to the last play of the game, a Hail Mary that almost was caught in the end zone by Troy, but almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. The Gamecocks hold them off and win 17-13. Hunter, what did you think about it? That was your first Troy game ever, and honestly, it may be the only one you ever see in your lifetime now at this point.
I was about to say I'll probably be on the ground by the time they play again. And based off everyone's reaction last night, like leading up to the game and everything, I mean it was worth the hype. I get it now. It's definitely like almost like an appetizer to the Iron Bowl. Just like the hate that those two teams have. I mean, you could tell in between plays there was no love lost, and just the fact that it went down to a final kind of Hail Mary play, and the guy. I mean, I sent you the clip that a friend of ours, ended up snagging, but like that receiver for Troy had it in his hands. He just lost it on the way down. That's how close this game was. So it was definitely the hype was deserved, and I'm glad we got to go see that, and glad we got to see some people parachute in
twice
prior to the game.
We got to see them practice and then come in the dark, which is pretty impressive.
Yes.
I sent the video of them practicing to several friends, and they said, are they going to try that in the dark? And I said, guys, this is the U.S. military. We jump in wherever we want to, day or night, because we are bad, baby. Come on. As Michael Jackson said, we bad. So, but they did a great job, I thought. And I will have to hand it to Montgomery. There was a lot of people concerned about the safety issue, about all this, but I thought it went extremely well. They had the area around the stadium, it had to be blocked off a mile. And, we got in where we were supposed to be, and it was good. They put a lot of money into the Crampton Bowl, and it's a very, very nice stadium. I was impressed with it, Hunter. The overall thing, I thought, got high marks for me, win or lose.
Yeah, the atmosphere alone was just like, because we kind of moved around a little bit. We were in the booth with Mike Paris for a little bit, and then moved down to the stands and to see some friends of yours from Jacksonville, and just like the atmosphere alone it was just a bowl game, and it felt like a national championship game. Just the amount of like people losing their voices actively, like in your ear, like it was crazy. I can't believe it was that intense, and it was definitely like you were saying, like these teams hate each other. I believe it now. I
well,
get it.
Think about this. A lot of those kids out there playing, it's been 24 years. The last time they played, most of those guys were 2 and 3 years old wearing diapers.
Yeah.
So they had to be educated on the whole process, as Jethro Bodine used to say. All right, guys, here is our question of the week. Are the bowl games really dying? What can be done to make them more appealing to non-playoff teams? And I will skip ahead and go to Nathan Hall on this. Nathan, what about the bowl games? Is this a dying thing or what?
Yeah, I think they've been dying for years now. And the problem is we didn't used to live in a national championship or bust environment. Like there were other things to play for. You aimed for the national championship. But if your season ended playing Michigan in the Sugar Bowl or Texas in the Cotton Bowl or whatever it is, that could have been a season-defining moment for your team. And we now live in an era where I just read a few days ago, TJ Finley is petitioning the NCAA for his 6th transfer in 7 years. That's the world we live in now.
How is he playing 7 years to begin with?
Well,
I mean, he's going to beat the Freddie Wagan record.
This is the bowl environment that the NCAA has created, and we talk about Marcus Freeman. I know Hunter likes Marcus Freeman a lot, and I think he's a great coach.
Mm-hmm.
He's taken so much heat for taking his ball and going home, as the media says, and sitting this bowl game out. If I'm Marcus Freeman, there's no way I'm playing in this bowl game, because what you did in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s was you went to play in a bowl game, and let's say a Cam Cook he's not able to play, there's an injury, or whatever the case may be. That's valuable tape as a coach. What can my second string guys do on this big stage? What can my third string guys do? Assuming the starters can't play, which most of them did. The starters sitting out has become a new phenomenon. But if I'm Marcus Freeman and I know that my Jeremiah Loves and my workhorse guys are going to sit out, which we all know they would, why are you going to give that tape to your second and third string guys for them to then go shop around to every other college in the country, or come to you and say, I want $100,000 more a year because of what I just did against Iowa State in the Pop-Tart Bowl or whatever?
Now, wait a minute. Do not make fun of my favorite bowl game, the Pop-Tart Bowl. When I see that giant Pop-Tart on the sidelines, my world gets better.
Well, I guess as far as bowl games go, the Pop-Tart mascot is one of the more glorious spectacles in modern American sports.
Do you love when he jumps in the toaster?
Yeah, and he rips off the wrapper. And
yeah.
Oh,
that is so good.
Yeah,
I do love the Pop-Tart, but I mean, we've just gotten to a point where it's either playoff or meaningless. And I know coaches are going to try to tell their team, it's a big deal, and it's this, but it's not that big of a deal. Now, if it's a JSU Troy and you have the rivalry aspect kind of roped into it, it elevates it. That's kind of a different thing, because it's an opportunity to play your rival school. But these college kids that are making $2 million a year, how do you go to them when they just missed the playoff and say, hey, you get to strap up and go through another month of brutal practices to go play Kansas State in the All-State Insurance Bowl? Or they don't care. It's not important. So I think we're to a point now to where the NCAA is going to have to make changes, and I don't know what those changes are, but it just feels like it's playoff or bust, and the bowl games just don't matter at all.
Hunter, let me ask you this. Under the current format, we have two games in the first round that we've already had. We've had Tulane at Ole Miss, and let's see, we had Alabama and Oklahoma. Of course, they just played a few weeks ago. Is that a problem with this format? Should we be conference champions only, or how do we fix this? It just, I don't know, something about it doesn't seem like we're clicking on all cylinders. I mean, it's better than it was, don't get me wrong, but it's still just, it feels like we're just kind of making time here. We got two teams that have already played, or four teams, two games, and we're just going to play it again.
Yeah. We talked about this in the crack of dawn, trying to get home from Montgomery last night. I think that they should do what the NFL does and just do that type of format. There shouldn't be a committee, in my opinion. I don't see why we have a committee, considering like half of the people there are like ADs for other schools. Like, I just feel like that's kind of shady, I guess, if that makes sense.
Well, I don't think they can vote on their own school. That's the thing. If their school's up, they got to leave.
Yeah, that's true. So I don't know.
Well, it's the only sport on earth that has a committee of any kind.
Yeah, well, there's a certain beauty pageant feel to it, or diving competition, which I don't care for those that, you can just come up with a number. Lance, what do you think? Is this how can we fix this? It's better than it was, but there's something still a little icky about it.
Well, it's funny. Last year, I commented to my dad about this exact thing. There's actually, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I'm a huge college football fan. I actually think there's too much football now. We extended out too long. And in my opinion, talking about going to more teams in this playoff format, I believe if you're going to do that, you need to shorten the season. Because by the time that you get through all these different rounds of playing, I'm telling you, everybody is burning. You can't build up every game to be the biggest game of the year, because eventually they all start, it's the law of diminishing return.
Yeah.
The more times you say it, the less meaning it really has behind it. Plus, I mean, look at Auburn. Auburn won 5 games this year and still got invited. Now, we declined it, but still got invited to a bowl game. It's starting to feel like everybody gets a bowl. Everybody gets their participation trophy. And the more you reward mediocrity, the less interest there's going to be across the board. And as a fan, I mean, look, I've got these pulled up. Old Dominion is playing South Florida right now. Who cares? The 68 Ventures Bowl, Ragin' Cajun versus the Louisiana versus Delaware. I mean, no offense to some of these teams. Look, if you have a great season, I mean, like Jacksonville State, they win 9 games this year. That's worth celebrating. Give them a bowl game.
But they were not the conference champion, though. You know, that again, and that's what I was going to ask you, like the SEC. We've got one conference champion, and that was Georgia. They ran the table. Yeah. They won the conference championship. But look at who all is in from the SEC. Now, I'm not saying they're not deserving teams, but are we just kind of, as you said, kicking the can down the road? You got Texas A&M, Oklahoma's in it. Alabama's in it. And, you know, those teams had a chance to win the conference and didn't do it. But yet they're still getting into the playoffs. So what's up with that?
You know, Bubba, you talk about this this pool of playoff teams, and I think back about when college football, in my opinion, was the strongest. I know there were a lot of unhappy people when your team came in 3rd or 4th. And Auburn fans can attest to this in, what was it, 2004?
Yeah.
When we got left out, when USC ended up playing Texas for the Oklahoma for the national the national championship, and Auburn got left out. We played Virginia Tech in a pretty mediocre Sugar Bowl, I believe it was. But the stakes were so high during the season to where when you did only have 2 teams in that championship, man, it felt like those were everything. And on the topic of bowl games meaning something, the other bowl games still meant something because the fact that you were still watching the number 3 team play the number 5 team instead of the number 28 team playing the number 53 team. And so, again, man, the more people you include in the last pool, the more difficult it's going to be to get people fired up for it, you know? And I think, look, I love March Madness. It's my favorite event of the year. But it's also the reason why college basketball, when you lose a game, you kind of go, it's okay. We just lost a game. You lose another game. We just lost another game. It's no big deal. The regular season takes a hit because of it. So if we keep doing that to the college football season and we say, now there's 24 teams in the playoff, it's going to lose it's going to dull the importance of the regular season games. So,
and that was one of the things people worried about, was it going to take away from the regular season? And again, when you can have, I hate to pick on Alabama here, but when you lose 3 games, including the conference championship, and, you know, a lot of teams are like, I don't want to go to the conference championship. They're going to hold it against us. So then the committee said, well, we won't hold it against you. But then you got teams getting in with 3 losses, which to me, you know, and again, I'm not picking on Alabama because it's them, but you had your chance to win the conference and you didn't do it. You know, you were a good team. You were the runner-up. But you still were better off than Ole Miss and Texas A&M. They didn't even get a shot to go to Atlanta, so should they even be considered? And you know, I know Dr. Lou has strong feelings about this, but
you know, I just don't even understand. I don't even understand why University of Notre Dame Fighting Irish did this playoff right now. We were clearly better than the University of Alabama Crimson Tide. I mean, it's just ridiculous. That makes me want to slap Mark May right across the cheek.
Well, Dr. Lou, I'm gonna tell you, like I've told the Notre Dame fans, if you want in, join a conference and quit acting like you're special.
Hey, you know what you need? You need to grab that. You need to grab something over behind your desk. You need to shove it in your mouth and just cram it down your pie hole.
Oh, well, with that comment, that's going to wrap up the first segment. We're running a little long here, but we'll be back. We have picks to talk about and a whole lot more. You're listening to the Tailgate Show.
Land is more than just dirt and timber. When you manage it, you're a steward of wildlife, and a caretaker for future generations. The Management Advantage was built for people like you. For over 20 years, they've shared proven knowledge from some of the nation's top land and wildlife managers. From food plots to predator control, it's education that turns passion into a lasting impact. Have the advantage on your property. Subscribe on YouTube and follow the Management Advantage on social media today.
Attention business owners, print buyers, and production managers. Guaranteed Labels is here to help you focus less on your printing, labels, decals, and focus more on growing your business. Guaranteed Labels wants to be your reliable printer. Quality, on-time shipments, and stock programs set us apart. If you're needing to focus less on your printing and more on your business, trust Guaranteed Labels, 205-640-4552 or GuaranteedLabels.com. Guaranteed Labels, still sticking since 1988.
Hey Auburn fans, this is Lois Ann Murphy, your owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Alex City, located on Highway 280. As a former Auburn cheerleader, football is my favorite time of the year. Tailgating and Chick-fil-A are a perfect match. Let Chick-fil-A Alex City take care of all your catering needs. We have a variety of trays, nuggets, mac and cheese, grilled cool wraps, and more. All are perfect for your tailgating needs. Place your order through the Chick-fil-A app or call 256-289-7955 and War Eagle.
We're back. It's the Tailgate Tailgate Show. It is the tailgate show for the tailgaters, done by the not-so-ready for primetime pickers. Hunter Bussey, Nathan Hall, Lance Ingram, and, of course, Dr. Lou has joined us on this beginning of the playoff season. We've been kicking around the problems with that, good and bad, but we're going to look at some matchups. And, guys, here, and this is really going to spawn another question. Hunter, I'll start with you. James Madison, conference champion, they are in versus Oregon. Will this game even be close, and is this a problem with the playoffs? Should James Madison even be in this?
Okay, so I've been back and forth on this. Like, they've played great this year, and I think they deserve a shot in the playoff. Are they going to win the title? Heck, no. They're not going to beat Oregon. Oregon is going to beat them like a drum in the first quarter. It might be 28-0. By the time the first quarter ends. All right, Oregon and James Madison, on the scale of college football, it is so one-sided it's not even close. You almost, I don't know, like a thought in my head is like you need a group of 5 playoff and then a power 4 playoff and then go from there. And then whatever happens, have at it. But again, that's just another layer of something that we don't need in college football. Because like Lance was saying in the last segment, there's almost too much football going on, and I love college football. But like we're talking about a playoff that's going almost into like it's button heads with the Super Bowl, just about. You know what I mean? Like we're getting an NFL playoff time like here in a couple of weeks. It's like, hey, college is still going on. It's like, good gracious, like what are we doing?
So I say, I take it from your conversation, you're picking the Ducks here.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't know if we were starting to pick or not. But
yeah.
Yes, I'm picking the Oregon Ducks.
Nathan, on paper, it looks like James Madison has no chance. But isn't this the same thing we see in basketball when we have the NCAA tournament? There's always a chance of that, number 16 seed upsetting a 1 or 2 or a 14 upsetting a 3 or 4. What do you think? Is this valuable for football, or just are we trying to make hay and turn it into gold?
So here's my take. This may be a hot take, and this may make some people mad. I don't think James Madison and Tulane have any business being anywhere near this playoff. I think it's kind of embarrassing for the sport, if we're being honest. And people talk about conference championships like that just automatically means something. Right now, there's a group of kids somewhere at some Baptist church in Alabama that won their upward flag football conference championship, and they don't need to be playing Oregon in the college football playoff. It's like winning a conference championship can't be the be-all, end-all. And looking at James Madison's schedule here, it's embarrassing. Like, they've played one legitimate program, Louisville, and I'm kind of stretching the term legitimate program with Louisville, and they lost that game by 14 points. So, and what's going to happen is they're going to play Oregon, and let's say it's close. They don't beat Oregon in any universe, but let's say that Oregon beats them 28-20, And people say, wow, this was close. James Madison put up a fight. See, they didn't, Nathan. You were wrong. James Madison did deserve to be there. The outcome doesn't justify their placement in the playoff. Berth in the playoff has to be based on merit. What does your resume look like? What have you done? What have you earned on the field? And they're not even playing the same sport. Like, there needs to be a group of 5 playoff and somebody's crowned champion, and it's a big deal for that school. And then there is the Power 4 playoff, because it's not fair to tell a team like Vanderbilt, we'll use Vanderbilt as the proxy for this argument, 10-2, 9-3, 10-2, played top 25 after top 25 after top 25, lost some close games against good teams, and we're going to put in James Madison because they won their conference against cupcakes all year and they lost to the one kind of big school that they played, Louisville. It makes no sense to me. I know that's going to make people mad because they deserve it too, and we need to see the Cinderella story and whatever. But the playoff needs to be the teams that fought the hardest throughout the year and have the strongest resumes. And maybe I'm a bad person for thinking that, but I don't think Tulane and James Madison are even playing the same sport.
Well, if I'm the coach of Oregon, I certainly am glad I'm playing James Madison as opposed to Vanderbilt right now. I'll tell you
Absolutely.
that. If I sleep a lot better. Lance, what about it? Is football and basketball so different that underdogs have no chance in this, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think when I look at football and basketball beside each other, I feel like basketball is a game where if you can shoot the long ball, you can hang in there with almost anybody. Mm-hmm. And in football, it don't matter how far you can throw a football if you can't stop the run and if you can't run the ball, and that's physicality. These guys are just so much smaller, so much weaker, and especially during the third and fourth quarters, you're going to see that play out. Honestly, Bubba, here's my fans' take on this. I probably won't even watch this game, and that just goes back to the original problem of, like, who cares? Like, maybe there are 12 teams in this playoff, but I'm not even going to watch that game. I may click over for 5 minutes to see who's winning, but there's a reason why this line, I think I looked at it a minute ago, this line is 22 points. That shouldn't even happen. I mean, think about it, though. If Vanderbilt is in this game, and that tells you something. I know look, the line is basically a public sentiment, but it's also telling you something about the matchup. And if Vanderbilt was in this game, it'd probably be a 10-point line, maybe. It might even be 6-7 points. 6-7, there they go. My kids
6-7, 6-7, 6-7.
I can't believe I just said that. 6-7. But if Vanderbilt was in this game, you would see a much smaller line, and it would show that would be the better matchup. And so I'm not even going to watch this game because it's not. I mean, again, I know we're being very fair to all. Everyone come to the table and have your chance, but it's going to generate no revenue as far as the TV ratings go. It's just not going to. And my take on this, they shouldn't be in the playoff. I'd rather see somebody like Notre Dame or Vanderbilt in it for sure.
Now, wait a minute. Have you already slipped into Dr. Lou there without thinking?
Here's the deal. Let me give you a history lesson here. James Madison was a founding father, the 4th U.S. president, known as the father of the Constitution, for his pivotal role in drafting the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. This guy is a winner, guys, and you need to understand that there's only one James Madison who's a winner, because the other one is going to be a big old loser. Oregon by 39.
I'll have to follow the sentiment of the group. I think the Ducks are going to win this one, and really their biggest challenge is to be sure they don't get anybody hurt for moving on to the next round. The other game,
Bubba, you said it best, though. I mean, if you're Oregon's coach and you find out, you click on your computer or here on your phone or whatever it is that day at 12:01 p.m. on Sunday, hey, guess what? You're playing James Madison. Are you kidding me? I'm going to eat a steak. I'm going to eat a baked potato. I'm going to eat dessert. I'm celebrating because they basically just got a bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I think the Ducks will win that one pretty easy. The other mismatch game that will actually be a repeat, Tulane at Ole Miss. And Ole Miss is missing their head coach. They have a new one now, but much of the offensive staff has come back from LSU to coach them through the playoffs. Hunter, what do you think about this one? Is Tulane in for another 40-point drubbing?
I don't think it'll be a 40-point drubbing. I just think the only chance Tulane has of winning this game is putting a controller in my hand, and I put a different playbook in their settings, and I run it on my PlayStation because they're going to get absolutely trounced, I think, by Ole Miss. I don't think it's going to be close.
Now, have they Summerall came from there, right?
He did, yeah. He's still coaching he will be coaching on the sidelines, and that's great and all, but I just don't think it'll matter. It's at Ole Miss. The place is going to be super loud. I've been there. They're going to be pumping in crowd music regardless if the students are still partying on the quad or not. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's going to be bad. It's an SEC school versus I can't remember what conference Tulane's in, but I just don't think the Green Wave is going to have any type of motion in this game whatsoever.
Nathan, what do you think?
So I'll start by apologizing to the Tulane faithful because I said last week or maybe the week before that Summerall wasn't going to coach for Tulane, and I was wrong. He is still coaching for Tulane. So apologies there, but I see this game being a little bit closer. Ole Miss is going to be playing with the chip of all chips on their shoulder because they've been left high and dry in the middle of the best season, I guess, in Ole Miss history. One of the best seasons in my lifetime.
Yeah.
But Tulane, I mean, if you're Tulane, you're thinking, hey, we're going into the college football playoff, which will probably never happen again because the guy that got us there is headed to Gainesville. So both teams are going to be, out for blood. This is going to be maybe the most hard-fought game of round one. But Trinidad Chambliss and Ole Miss, man, the offensive firepower, it's too much for Tulane. It's going to be too much for Tulane, especially late game. I'm feeling like 31-20 maybe is what this thing's going to end up at. The 31-20 feels good. But yeah, I'm taking the Rebels. I feel good about Ole Miss getting it done.
Nathan, let me ask you this because I know you love all of the history of this. Do you know what conference Tulane used to be in?
They used to be in the SEC, I believe.
You are correct. They did. They were at one time. So they're trying to get back there, I imagine, and LSU's blocking them.
Hey, they need to schedule Auburn every chance they get.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, me. So, Lance, what do you think? Ole Miss, will they cruise? They've already beat Tulane once at home.
I'm just looking.
This is a replay.
I always look at the line. 18-point line, 17.5. Again, man, I love John Summerall. In fact, I wanted him at Auburn. Funny story, Bubba, our families were pretty close when we were young because we played at the same ballpark, the Summeralls. The dude is a coach. He is a football guy. I think he will succeed at Florida. I really do think he is a home run hire. But you just gotta – it ain't about coaching in these games, in my opinion. It is about Jimmys and Joes, not the X's and O's. And honestly, I just think that Ole Miss has got too much firepower for them to hang in, for Tulane to hang in for 4 quarters. I think it'll be a semi-close game for a half, possibly. But I think down the stretch, that line's probably about right, probably 14 to 17 points. Trinidad will be the difference. Trinidad and Tobago. That will be the difference in this game.
Great quarterback, nice vacation spot.
Yeah, beautiful. Let me tell you something. I took my wife there one time, and I just sat there in our condo, and I watched Rudy the entire time. It was beautiful.
All right, how about this game? This one is going to be a little more competitive. Miami at Texas A&M. What do you think? Hunter, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I do think it'll be a close game. I think this will be like I don't know. I'm not sure what the line is on this game, but I got A&M by 10 points. I know A&M almost blew it against South Carolina the day that their coach was literally signing the dotted line for an extension, and their fans were like, I don't know if that's a good thing to do or not.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd run in at halftime and sign that thing.
Yeah, I still can't believe that game happened like it did. The timing was perfect. But yeah, I just think I really like A&M's quarterback. I've said this several times. When he gets hot, he is lightning quick. And yes, Miami is physical, but the ACC is very weak. It is not a good conference. Hasn't been for the past few years, and I just think A&M, the physicality that they bring to the field is going to be too much.
Nathan, what do you think?
I'm leaning pretty heavily A&M. First of all, I think Marcel Reed, as bad as he looked against Texas, I think he's still one of the best quarterbacks in the country. He's an electric playmaker. And the difference, I think, is going to be the fact that Miami lost 2 games midseason. So their expectations have been a little bit more of a roller coaster. I feel like whereas Texas A&M felt like all season, we're elite, we're one of the best teams in the country. And then the Longhorns just snatched the rug right out from under them in brutal fashion in a rivalry game. I mean, for you to go 11-1 and your one loss is to Texas, that's tough. So Texas A&M has just been sitting in that for a couple of weeks. They've had a long time to just think about it and read the headlines and watch the videos on Twitter and just kind of stew over the fact that they would have been going to Atlanta to play an SEC championship. I mean, it was right out in front of them, and they let Texas just snatch it away. So they're going to come into this game with, I think, a level of anger and fury that Miami may not be able to handle. And I think we're going to see Marcel Reed make some of the more dynamic plays that he's made all year on this stage. I'm going to go Texas A&M by 7.
Lance, what do you think?
You know, I was leaning Texas A&M, but I'm going to go Miami on this one because I believe if they put it all together, which they've kind of looked rough the second half of the season. They have not looked like the team early in the season where everything was clicking and everybody was talking about this could be one of the greatest Miami teams of all time. I think if they put it together, it's all going to be, hey, we all know this. Football is a game won by quarterbacks and lost by quarterbacks a lot of the time. And if Carson Beck plays a great game, if he plays the kind of game he's capable of playing, they will win this game. And I think they could. Texas A&M, they had a great year. But I look at a lot of games Texas A&M had this year where they could have lost, including Auburn. I mean, my goodness, Auburn. Yeah. How many yards did we have in the fourth quarter against Texas A&M? Like 2 yards or something? And we still almost beat them. Yeah. We still almost beat them. And so I just feel like Texas A&M might have gotten cold cocked from the side against Texas, and they may not respond as quick. I think about Mike Tyson the video game on Nintendo. Man, they got popped, and I don't know if they're going to recover quickly. That was ugly. How
does Dr. Lou feel about it?
Yeah, I see the look on his face. You pick Miami.
Here's the deal. One of my favorite players in the country is Carson Beck. He looks like one of my favorite movie characters, Sid from Ice Age. And, here's the thing. I've always loved Sid's dialect because he kind of talks a little bit like Dr. Lou. I love Sid and Ice Age. If you ever seen him, you need to go watch him because this has all kinds of sounds less like this. So, but anyway, I sit here talking about like that, and I really think that Carson Beck is going to come out to play, and those guys, I tell you what, they're going to, Devin Hester and the whole crowd, and they're going to play so well, and the Miami Hurricanes are going to blow Texas A&M off the map.
So Lance and Dr. Lou both are picking Miami, which looks like an upset. We're going to have to sound the upset air horn. And, Lance, you and Dr. Lou stole my thunder. I was ready to really come in and blow everybody away by picking Miami. So I'm going to have to go with the upset, too.
Welcome to the upset trailer.
And A&M has had a good year, but look at who they beat. Did they beat any team with a winning record in the SEC? At one point, no. And then they played South Carolina, got scared to death, and then Texas put a beating on them. I don't think A&M is near as good as what they're being touted. I think Miami is going to win this, and it's going to be a big upset. So we'll see. You know, I don't see the game like everybody else. That's what the song says. So
Lord.
I am going with the Hurricanes, and I wish I had the song, but of course, if I played it, it would get us blacklisted, so we will not play it. We will be right back. We'll talk about the Alabama-Oklahoma game and a few other topics. When we come back, it is the Tailgate Tailgate Show.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
You know one thing I love about Buffalo Wild Wings? You can get wings with any of their 26 sauces and dry rubs for takeout and delivery. That's like bringing an entire B-dubs home with you, which you can't do. I tried. I've knocked down so many walls, only to then be told to halt construction because I'm not zoned to be a sports bar. Kinda just looks like a big pergola or something because of the lack of walls. At least these 26 sauces and dry rubs are available to go. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
On the water or off, experience lake life to the fullest at Russell Lands on Lake Martin. Want to know what's going on around Lake Martin? Check out the calendar of seasonal events that include Fridays on the Green, naturalist events, fireworks, concerts, poker runs, boat shows, juried art shows, boat parades, and much more. If you're here for the weekend or if you've made your home at the lake, Russell Lands is where community and the land come together. To learn more about upcoming events, visit russelllands.com. Come see what lake life is all about. It's the Tailgate Tailgate Show, and you're along with Bill Bubba Bussey, Hunter Bussey, Nathan Hall, and our guest pickers this week, Lance Ingram and Dr. Lou. Well, guys, we are down to a rematch game that is probably on paper the most evenly put together game of this first round. Alabama will travel to Oklahoma again. They just did this a few weeks ago. Oklahoma was a big winner in that. We're seeing a replay. Can you beat the same team twice? Where is Oklahoma? Where is Alabama? And Hunter, I'll start with you again. I'm gonna wait and save Dr. Lou to the very end.
Okay.
I usually flip it around, but I think it would be unfair this week to do that.
So Alabama and Oklahoma have had a very interesting matchup the last 2 years, considering what has happened as a result. Both times I've picked Alabama because it's Oklahoma, and I feel like they just don't match up physicality-wise. But the last year they played in Norman, Alabama lost. They played in Tuscaloosa this year. I thought they were going to get their revenge. Alabama lost again. So I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe with this, there's no way Oklahoma can beat them again. I don't think they will. I think Alabama has this. I know they have a lot of injuries. I think Ty Simpson, he's had a couple of days to recover from getting beat up a little bit in the SEC championship game. I expect them to have a good game. I think they're going to try to get their running game going again, but I expect a big game from Ty Simpson and give me the Crimson Tide by 10.
Nathan, what do you say?
I feel so good about Alabama winning this game. It's like the most comfortable I have felt with a pick all year. Now, if this was a Nick Saban coach team, I would say Oklahoma has zero chance of beating Nick Saban twice in the same season. Given the fact that it's Kalen DeBoer, I think it's kind of within the realm of possibility. And Ty Simpson has reportedly been dealing with some sort of a back injury post SEC championship game, although I think he is supposed to play by all accounts. But I don't see Oklahoma getting this one done. Oklahoma has been wildly inconsistent. The Red River game really scared me because Oklahoma looked better early in the year. And they looked really good against Michigan after all the hype that Michigan was getting. And then against Texas, they just collapsed. I mean, and it was kind of John Mateer. That was a game that me and Hunter were catching bits and pieces of between Auburn tailgates. But I would go to the next TV, and it would be like a 10-point swing. I'm like, what is happening to Oklahoma? It was like John Mateer just kind of fell apart on what was their biggest stage of the year. And I just don't like betting against Alabama. It scares me every time. And I think Ty Simpson, with the receivers they've got, they've been running the ball better too. The Iron Bowl, they came into the Iron Bowl. Can they run the ball? Or are they going to have to just lean completely on Ty Simpson and Bernard and Ryan Williams? But they ran the ball effectively. So I don't know. It's kind of coin flippy, but I'm going to say Alabama by 3. I feel safe with Alabama. Alabama by 3. I'm locking it in.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer. You know what? I talked to myself. So at the beginning, I said I felt fully confident. And then by the end, I was like, maybe I'm not fully confident. I don't know. It's a coin. Alabama by 3. Lock it in.
All right. It is now locked in. Lance, what do you say?
Man, if this is the Alabama team that played Georgia the first time, Bama's going to win big. If this is the Alabama team that played Georgia the second time, Alabama is going to lose by 14 points. But what I see as being, this seems, pretty elementary to judge a game this way instead of breaking down the matchups and talking about how good the playmakers are for Alabama or for Oklahoma. But it's so hard to beat a team twice. It's so hard to beat a team twice. And for me, I look at that and I go, it is going to be remarkably difficult. I don't care that they're at home. It is so hard psychologically to prepare to beat a team a second time when you've already proven we're better than you. That team who lost has a chip on their shoulder that you cannot replicate. In fact, I guarantee if they did a scientific study, a psychological study on this, there would be crazy data erring on the side of the team that loses the first time will come back and usually dominate the second time. And so I don't like Oklahoma winning twice against the Tide. So I think Bama probably by 7-10 points, something like that.
So
even though Bama's a 2-point favorite.
I started to say I don't know if that's an upset or not. I don't know the line on this.
It's such a toss-up game according to all the stats. I don't really know what it is.
You know what though? Real take here. These two teams are not very good. They're really not. I mean, I'll look at them again. Why is this playoff not that exciting? Because I saw Alabama versus Auburn. I saw Alabama versus Florida State. Yeah. I saw Alabama in the SEC championship. Am I going to get excited about watching an Alabama team who has looked mediocre, who had -3 rushing yards in the SEC championship? I'm not going to get excited about that because of the fact that they're not a great team. I want to see a 12-0 team versus a maybe 11-1 team who lost at the last second to that 12-0 team. Not a team who could honestly have like 5 losses. I think who else did Alabama almost lose to this year?
South Carolina was that close
South
to being.
Yeah. I mean, again, man, it's just when you've watched the whole season play out and there's so much mediocrity across the board, it's like, hey, I'm not going to get excited about that. People want the Patriots Giants Super Bowl matchups. They just want to see those,
So how does Dr. Lou feel about it?
Well, listen, guys, I will tell you, I've been looking at this, and on one side you've got Jessica Simpson's son, Ty, who's just a son, and his mama looks great in the Daisy Dukes, you got that going on. Then you got, you heard of peanut butter, but have you heard of strawberry jam Miller? I mean, Jam Miller, he's going to be back. He's available for this game. I mean, you got all kinds of crazy things happening in this game. But then on the other side, you've got Jeremiah Love and the University of Notre Dame fighting.
No, Coach, Dr. Notre Dame's not in this. Not at all, as a matter of fact. Not at all. Not guys, even in the playoffs.
You need to shut your pie holes and listen because the University of Notre Dame fighting
Harris is going to win. It was William and Mary who was left out, not the University of Notre Dame.
Here's my take on this. I agree with what you said about winning twice. But to me, and I'm basing this on Alabama's performance, I'm going to take the Florida State game and take it off the table. Every week after that, they got better. I mean, every week you're either getting better or you're getting worse. And Alabama peaked, and then they started going the other direction. And I'm basing that on South Carolina. I'm basing that on Auburn. Look, they survived a very poor Auburn team that's not even going to a bowl game. I mean, and then the Georgia game, the championship, they look very, very rough in that. They missed Jam Miller tremendously, and they say he's going to play, but he's got a high ankle sprain. Now, if you've ever had that's one of those things that they can go in and do a surgery and try to help you out, but a week is not enough time to get ready. So,
guys, they can put a horse tranquilizer in his leg, and he'll be just fine.
I don't know. I really doubt that he's going to play, and I really doubt he's going to be effective. And based on the trending of how Alabama's played the last 3 or 4 games, I just don't think they're a really good football team right now. Now, if this game had been week 3 or week 4, I would be picking the Tide all the way, no matter where the game is. But I just don't think Alabama's playing good right now. I think they're beat up. I think they're tired. They're not used to being a team with 3 losses, and they're kind of, we're not as good as we used to be either. We're not trying to keep a polished record. So I really think the homestanding Oklahoma, or better known as Red People, will pull out a victory on this. And like I said, I don't know if that's an upset or not. The line is so close, I'm not going to call it one. But I think Oklahoma may be able to pull that out just based on Alabama's offensive performances the last few weeks. So there you have that. We're going to go ahead and take another break right here. We'll be right back to wrap everything up and let Lance plug away as one of our final segments. You are listening to the Tailgate Tailgate Show, the not so ready for primetime pickers, and we'll be right back.
Land is more than just dirt and timber. When you manage it, you're a steward of wildlife and a caretaker for future generations. The management advantage was built for people like you. For over 20 years, they've shared proven knowledge from some of the nation's top land and wildlife managers. From food plots to predator control, it's education that turns passion into a lasting impact. Have the advantage on your property. Subscribe on YouTube and follow the Management Advantage on social media today.
Looking for your dream home at Lake Martin? Trust Adam Yeager at Lake Martin Realty. Adam's honest, hardworking, and puts you, the client, first. Every time. With his local expertise and dedication, he'll guide you to the perfect property, hassle-free. Whether buying or selling, let Adam go to work for you. Call Adam Yeager at Lake Martin Realty today, 205-914-0830. Lake Martin Realty is a licensed real estate brokerage. Terms and conditions apply.
You know one thing I love about Buffalo Wild Wings? You can get wings with any of their 26 sauces and dry rubs for takeout and delivery. That's like bringing an entire B-dubs home with you, which you can't do. I tried. I've knocked down so many walls, only to then be told to halt construction because I'm not zoned to be a sports bar. Kind of just looks like a big pergola or something because of the lack of walls. At least these 26 sauces and dry rubs are available to go. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
We're back, and we're about to wrap up this week's edition of the Tailgate Tailgate Show. We want to thank all of you for joining us. We thank our radio affiliates for carrying this also. If you get this as a podcast, that's great. If you get it as a radio show, that's great. And you can go to our website, the Tailgate Tailgate Show, and look at our radio partners for stations in your area and times. So, Hunter, that will kind of wrap it up for this week. And are you feeling good about your picks? Are you still excited? We got a little college football to watch?
Yeah, I'm still excited. Like Lance was saying, like some of the games, like the Oregon James Madison, it might not even be worth watching. If it's on somewhere and I'm stuffing my face with wings, yeah, I'll watch it. Okay, it's college football, but at the end of the day, this episode it's not, we're not bashing the group of five. Let's just get that out there. Do they need to be in this playoff though? Does James Madison need to be playing Oregon? Heck no. Is it that like March Madness? No. I think those are two different conversations to have. But regardless, I'm excited. It's playoff time. It's college football. We're about to have a champion crowned. Will it be Ohio State again? Probably. It will be, I think. I think they're too good. Indiana, though, made them bleed a little bit. So we'll see what happens. But I'm excited regardless. So let's get it started.
Nathan, closing thoughts.
Yeah, it's going to be a good weekend of football. And what's going to happen, I can already see the writing on the wall. James Madison is going to beat Oregon in a crazy upset, and people are going to say, Nathan hates the small schools, and he doesn't want to give them a chance. And we knew they should be here the whole time. It's Cinderella. No, Oregon's going to beat them by 50. But I'm excited to watch the matchups, and I'm particularly excited to watch the ones that are going to follow those, once we get it down to the final 8. But this is just a great time of year. It's being with friends and family and kind of the Christmas feeling in the air. And, I'm excited to get into these games. It's going to be fun.
Lance, closing thoughts and tell everybody what you're doing nowadays. We always let our guest picker plug away and tell everybody what they're doing, who they're working for, and any other shout outs they need to get.
Yeah, man. Well, first and foremost, thank y'all for letting me be on your show. Had a good time.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to some college football matchups that actually have a lot at stake this weekend. It's going to be fun to catch at least that Alabama-Oklahoma game. As an Auburn fan, I've gained a great love for being good at basketball. It may be my coping mechanism, but I told my dad and my brothers recently that I really enjoy being an Auburn basketball fan right now, maybe as much as I did an Auburn football fan when we were good. Because guys, we're still living, Auburn fans, man. Good gracious, we're still living off of a 15-year-old national championship now. I mean, that thing is 15 years old.
Yeah.
And so I'm ready for Auburn to step it back up. Hopefully we will. But it's going to be fun, a fun college football playoff. I think it'll be better than last year's. I was pretty disinterested in last year's. But yeah, Bubba, man, shoot, update you real quick. I have been speaking a lot, of course. I speak to men as much as I can about how we achieve spiritual victory through biblical obedience and living for Jesus and fighting to be the spiritual warriors that we are called to be. I do that a lot, Bubba, you know that. And of course, trying to keep up with my 3 kids and my bombshell wife that has you want to talk about out-kicking coverage. Woo, man.
Yeah.
That should be the name of my podcast.
Yeah, you kicked about a 60-yarder there, Lance.
60. Man, I kicked an 80, man. Flat-footed. Doing great, man. God has blessed us so much at this point in life. And, if you want to check out what my ministry does and what we're, always writing books, if you want to go check out some of those resources, warriorunited.com, and you can check out some of the books that we've written to equip men for spiritual victory. That is what we do. And so that's been a big part of my life. I got this state champs hat on right here because I was a part of discipling the Moody High School football team, which we just won the 5A state championship. Unbelievable game. One of the most dominant performances in a high school football game I've ever seen. In the freezing cold rain there at Protective Stadium, one of the most impressive performances I've ever seen. Literally passed the ball 2 times during the game. I think it was 5 technically, but it was really two passes the whole game. Ran it down Viger's throat, man. It was fun to watch. I know it wasn't fun for them, but it was fun. 25-0. So that was fun. But I've spoken to them for 4 years, the last 4 years, week in and week out throughout the football season to teach them stuff that matters beyond the field. And so that's kind of my heart.
Nice.
And Bubba, I meant to mention this to you. Thank you, by the way, for allowing us to come over to your house for a second while we were in town for Thanksgiving. I almost had a heart attack coming down your driveway. We'll never do that again.
That's an experience.
But Bubba, I meant to mention to you a Tesla 3, and let me tell you something, dude. Let me tell you something, man. That is the coolest car I have ever been in.
Now,
I've been in a lot of them.
What is it? A Tesla what?
Tesla
3. Now,
Man.
okay. So does it drive itself?
It can drive itself. We have not allowed it to drive itself yet. And if it starts driving itself to the White House, I'm glad I've got an extra car that runs off of gasoline.
Yeah, I'm kind of afraid to get one because I think I'd have too much fun with it. Well, what about Dr. Lou? What's he doing now?
Hey, guys, I've been in hibernation since I hadn't had any platform to be talking on. So, here's the thing. I love talking college football, University of Notre Dame, Fighting University of Arkansas. I love just any team that I coach at, because I'm a legend wherever I go. And, so Coach Lou's been doing good, I've been rerunning roadies just like I always do on TNT. Got it playing pretty much daily. But other than that, it's just been me laying on the couch. Occasionally I'll wake myself up and I'll have wet the bed or something like that. But other than that, doing great.
Well, you ought to get your buddy Lance to give you a ride. I heard he's got a new car. Y'all could have a lot of fun with that.
Oh, it's fantastic. Hey, I'm glad it has leather seats because I peed my pants in there too.
Yeah, Lance, I'm glad that Moody got to play in Protective Stadium. I think that's the most points that stadium has seen all year. So it's great.
Goodness gracious, Hunter with the jab to finish off the tailgate show.
Well, folks, we appreciate you being part of all the fun, and it has been a lot of fun. We are on week 17 of the Tailgate Tailgate show, and we talked it over. This is kind of where we'd planned on ending it, but in talking to Hunter and Nathan, I think we're going to keep it going another few weeks because we're just too close to the championship. We can't let it go at that. So we appreciate you being part of the process. Remember our website, the tailgatetailgateshow.com. We have some really cool merchandise there. Not a lot, but we have some things available for the tailgate fan on your list. Always remember to subscribe, turn on notifications so we don't want you to miss a single thing going on with the show. Follow us on social media. Hunter keeps that updated, and we appreciate the sponsors you hear that are making it possible. So next time, till toe touches leather, we'll be here, and we will bring you the very best inside, the picks that you can go to the bank on the Tailgate Tailgate show done by the Not So Ready for Primetime Pickers. Thank you. God loves you. We do too. And we'll see you next time around.
Attention business owners, print buyers, and production managers. Guaranteed Labels is here to help you focus less on your printing, labels, decals, and focus more on growing your business. Guaranteed Labels wants to be your reliable printer. Quality, on-time shipments, and stock programs set us apart. If you're needing to focus less on your printing and more on your business, trust Guaranteed Labels, 205-640-4552 or GuaranteedLabels.com. Guaranteed Labels, still sticking since 1988.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
On the water or off, experience lake life to the fullest at Russell Lands on Lake Martin. Grab a latte at Brew 63, linger over lunch at Fanny's, or take in a Lake Martin sunset at Kalijah Restaurant. Whether you're here for the weekend or you've made your home at the lake, Russell Lands is where community and the land come together. To learn more about upcoming events, visit russelllands.com. Come see what lake life is all about.
You've been listening to the Tailgate Tailgate Show, a production of Intergalactic Pants and Tees, all rights reserved. Be sure to like and follow and subscribe to the show and all social media. Contact information is on our website at thetailgatetailgateshow.com. Until next time, may your coals stay hot and your tent stay dry.